the Jewish Channel's Week in Review. Announcements of Israeli-Palestinian peace talks, recognizing survivors across ethnicities, and an Orthodox Jewish boxer prepares to step back into the ring. It's the Jewish news that's changing your world on this episode of the Week in Review. Hello, and welcome to the Jewish Channel's Week in Review. I'm Stephen I. Weiss. Direct peace talks between the Israeli government and the Palestinian Authority will take place in less than a week. In a surprise announcement last Friday, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton announced the upcoming talks.
On behalf of the United States government, I've invited Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu and Palestinian Authority President Abbas to meet on September 2nd in Washington, D.C. to relaunch direct negotiations to resolve all final status issues, which we believe can be completed within 1 year. President Obama has invited President Mubarak of Egypt and King Abdullah of Jordan to attend in view of their critical role in this effort. As we move forward, it is important that actions by all sides help to advance our effort, not hinder it. The enemies of peace will keep trying to defeat us and to derail these talks. But I ask the parties to persevere, to keep moving forward even through difficult times, and to continue working to achieve a just and lasting peace in the region.
The announcement was met by statements from pretty much every Jewish organization welcoming the talks. White House officials held a conference call with some Jewish leaders late Friday to discuss the talks, and reporters have avidly pursued sources on all sides, but not much has been revealed that goes beyond Clinton's initial statement. The whole world simply has to wait until September 2nd to see how things go from there. In other Israel news, the Jewish state is for the first time taking part in serving on a United Nations security force. 14 police officers are heading to Haiti to assist the UN in its work there. In another story of new areas of cooperation between Jews and other groups, the experience of genocidal slaughter is unfortunately one shared by a number of different ethnicities. A new film looks at that shared experience, as Christian Niedan reports.
Survivors of the bloodshed in Darfur had reason to celebrate last month when the International Criminal Court charged Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir with 3 counts of genocide. Among the many Darfuris killed in the region was the family of Adam Bashar, who fled to Israel when he was 17. Bashar is one of 4 subjects of the new documentary, The Last Survivor, which recently had its New York premiere at Lincoln Center's Walter Reed Theater. The film's Jewish co-directors told the audience how they met Bashar at Yamin Ord boarding school near Haifa.
Mike and I had read an article about Darfuris crossing the border into Egypt and into Israel, and with no money and just the desire to go, we hopped on a Greater Miami Jewish Federation bus and toured the country with a group, and then spent another 2 weeks filming with Adam and a lot of his friends there. And that's how we met Adam. We went over to Yamin Ord, and he was studying. He actually wouldn't let us film because he was so dedicated to his education, and he inspired us, and we told him we would come back.
To hear more about the making of The Last Survivor, please tune into the full broadcast version of the Week in Review.
Thank you, Christian. While peace talks are scheduled for September 2nd, a very important Jewish conflict is set to take place the day before. Orthodox Jewish boxer Dmitriy Salita is getting into the ring with a fight that will be broadcast exclusively on the Jewish Channel. Here's Christian Niedan's preview.
It's been almost 9 months since Dmitriy Salita last stepped in the ring for a professional fight in England, and almost 22 months since he last fought in New York City, right here at Madison Square Garden. Earlier this week, I caught up with Salita at Universal Boxing Gym in Queens, ahead of his September 1st bout in Brooklyn at Oceana Hall. Who will be your next opponent?
I'm fighting Franklin Gonzalez of the Dominican Republic. That is going to be my opponent on September 1st.
And this past Monday, 9 days out from fight night, Salita is at Universal Boxing Gym in Ozone Park, Queens, training both inside and outside the ring. All of Salita's hard work, though, both in training for and promoting this fight, will be tested when he steps inside the ring with the unorthodox left-handed opponent that he recruited.
Gonzalez, he's fought quite a few really good fighters. He's a southpaw, which is different from the traditional right-handed stand, so that is a challenge. He also has a high knockout ratio. He has 13 wins, 9 of those are by knockout. So, I expect a tough fight. Just yesterday, we did about 10 rounds of sparring, which went really, really well. So I feel very good and I feel confident to do what I need to do.
I asked boxing reporter Francisco Guzman for the historical perspective on why left-handed fighters are considered such a challenge.
Most southpaws have trouble getting fights. Marvin Hagler was one of those guys that had trouble getting fights in the beginning of his career because he was a southpaw. The thing about southpaws are that they fight in a different stance and they punch from different angles. So that can be difficult for a guy who's used to fighting right-handed fighters. Also, they move to their right to offset their opponents. So you got to kind of move to your left. So that's the challenges that Dmitriy stands in this fight coming up.
But Salita's head trainer, Nirmal Lorik, said a southpaw challenge is just what his fighter needs, especially if he wants redemption from the TKO loss to Amir Khan last December.
The guy is a cagey fighter. We didn't take no guy who the people think is going to be a walkover. He's a tough guy. He's 14-4. He fought some tough guys himself, and I think it's a good test for Dmitriy coming back. The Amir Khan was just a fluke. I mean, he got knocked down 3 times. He wasn't knocked out. You know, I mean, conditions that he was under in that fight, from the promotion stand of it to the crowd, it really played against him. And we expected that. I kind of told Dmitriy that, but I think he had to live it to see it.
And even though Salita is returning to the friendly territory of South Brooklyn, Lorik is comfortable the home crowd advantage won't make his fighter overconfident.
Dmitriy fought before at Oceana where it was a sold-out crowd. So he knows what it's like to stand there and, really cherish the moment. And this is a moment for him to cherish. I think he's getting into the part of his own promotion, the Jewish channel. Thanks to them to come over there and really support Dmitriy and be behind the show with Universal and Lorik Boxing and, with Dmitriy himself. He's one of the guys that we're really having to push through this fight here. And he came and he really wanted to fight.
And as fight night closes in, Universal Boxing Gym's owner, Moises Roman Jr., will help Salita put the final touches on his training.
He's already good. He's gotten all his rounds in. I think he's going to have one more sparring session tomorrow. I think he's going to get about 6 to 8 rounds tomorrow. And then we're going to start slowly capping him out with just basic pad work, abs, a little bit of bag work and strength training, and then just maintain the weight because he's ready to go. He's ready to rock.
Salita was quick to point out, though, that not all of his preparation will be physical.
It's the month of El. It's a special time. So, before my fights, I always become a little more spiritually connected. Say my prayers, cut my weight a few more pounds, hopefully get plenty of rest, come to the gym, stay sharp. Most of the hard work is done. We'll do probably 2 more lighter sparring sessions just to kind of keep sharp and keep focused. But the hard work is done, and look forward to the first.
Reporting for the Jewish Channel, I'm Christian Niedan.
Thank you, Christian. That's all for this week. For more news and analysis from the Jewish Channel during the week, please check out our blog at newsdesk.tjctv.com. From all of us here at the Jewish Channel, be well. The Jewish Channel is available on cable: IO Optimum Cable Channel 291, Time Warner Cable Channel 528, RCN Channel 268, Verizon Fios Channel 900, and Cox Cable Channel 1. For more information, visit tjctv.com.